wanted to give a private video for our trading group. I'm not going to put this on YouTube for now, but I wanted to show you kind of how I'm looking at this new impulse here that we're currently in, and show you, I think, what's about to happen. We're literally breaking out here any moment and making new highs. We had about a 10.5% pullback. We didn't come all the way down to the low 260s, high 250s like I thought. So about a 10.5% pullback. What you want to be watching for, in my opinion, is on the 4-hour chart. You want to be looking for a pullback within a single 4-hour candle. That's important. So I came back here and measured the November 24 breakout. We just finished up a similar move to here, November 12th and 13th. We pulled back 13.5% there, and this move that we just did, it was 10.5%. The next move will be after we wick around $5. We'll probably pull back over the course of a few 4-hour candles, about 21%, 20 to 21%. And then we'll have potentially another pullback. But what I want you to notice that will probably most likely mark the top of the market for at least several days is a single 4-hour candle that has at least a 20 to 22% pullback. Notice that. So you have a single 4-hour candle here. Now, ultimately, we went lower, right? So ultimately, we had like a 34.5% pullback. But if you look at that single 4-hour candle, that was over 20% within 4 hours. That most likely is going to be your local high off of this new parabola. Then we'll have a longer or a short consolidation, and then a final blow off top for that fifth. Let's see how long of a time that was from there to the breakout. So wow, about 40 days, 41 days, until we kind of had that little final poop, and then they caught everybody flat-footed and went sideways then for 7 months. So really, this is your moneymaker wave right here, and what you want to watch for to know when there's going to be a time to exit. And here's the good news. The good news is this: you're going to have a 4-hour candle that has about a 20 to 22%, 23% drawdown in one single 4-hour candle. But then notice what happens. You get your B wave back up, and that's where you want to exit. And what you'll want to be watching for is for a 4-hour candle to close confirming under the 618 fib pullback after that dump. See? So that gravestone doji 4-hour right there was probably your test. Now, some probably sold there, right? So you had that sell off, and then there were some people that shorted, and then but anyway, that's the area you want to watch. Basically, if we hold below the 702 retrace, that's your B wave. That's where you want to exit. So if that plays out for us and the same kind of distances, then that is going to be, hold on, boom, ba-boom. Man, we're looking good going into the weekly close. So yeah, $5, we're gonna probably see some resistance, but let's see. What I want to see here on this next drive is, do we play the same kind of move in November? And the reason I'm looking at November so closely is because November is the most recent scenario where the market was bullish and we saw what the bot algorithms were doing. We saw where they were driving price, right? So, maybe we go higher here. Maybe we go all the way to 629 before we pull back. Dude, if we do, great news, really. But ultimately, I think we're going to come up here and we're going to capture, I need to change that back to, ultimately, I think we're going to come between 11 and $12. That's where you're going to want to exit. Then we'll have a 20% in a single 4-hour candle pullback. We'll have our B wave. That's probably where you want to exit. I mean, there's no reason to try to guess if that's the top. What if it's not? What if we go to 13? What if we go straight to 20? Is that possible? It's possible. But I think most likely it's 11 to 12. And then we'll have this, sideways for 40 days. Then we'll have the final push up to about 13. Then the question is how long do we go sideways? Do we go sideways again like we did here for 7 months? Is that a shorter time period? And then do we have a final move up to this $20 to $28 range? So that's what I'm looking for. That's what I'm kind of watching on these intraday pullbacks. There was a 13% here back in November at the very beginning of the parabola. We just had a 10.5%. So let's see what this next move gets us. Let's see where we land. Do we land kind of in that $5 region? Do we come up to $6.30 straight? How do we get there? Let's see. But ultimately we're looking for that $11 to $12 range. That's where I think we're headed. So and I think the timing is very tight here on this. I think we have to do all this before the end of August at the latest. Really, we could be to $11 to $12 before. Well, let's measure it. What did we do in November? Let's see here. If you want to take a time-based measurement, we went from there. We were to that $2.85 mark within 20 days. 20 to 21 days. So if we're looking at a similar time here, guys, then that is 20 to 21 days would put us at about right at the end of July, right on the monthly. Right there, end of July, beginning of August. And already had some lines there, so you can see what I was already looking at. So that's what we're watching closely over the next several days. See how that all plays out. Hold on for dear life. Don't get caught up on the intraday swings. There's going to be some vicious, 20% pullback days. What you can't do is get shaken out at this point. You're going to have a 20% pullback, 20% pullback. What we're looking for is a single 4-hour pullback of over 20%, like right there. Once you get that, then we start to really watch closely on that B wave rebound. Do we clear the 702? Do we hold below it? And the first sign of a gravestone doji on the 4-hour, let it go, So yeah, hope that helps y'all. I'm not going to publish this publicly. Just want to give this to you guys privately. Things I'm watching. Thanks.